Hi there, welcome back. My name is Maria, and today you're going to be baking with Maria. We are making a super simple nut pie that is so delicious. Even men make it. Some of my fellow teachers said, where did you get the recipe? Here's how to make it. So it's really a cool recipe. And as you can see, we've got our mise en place. That means everything in its place, all ready to go for this wonderful pie. Right now, I'm going to be starting to get my egg whites because the recipe says they only need the egg whites. All right, when handling eggs, that for something that's not going to be cooked, although this will be cooked, you need to put on gloves, okay? The second thing is that when you crack an egg, so that you don't spoil the eggs, it's really easy to have a yolk break. And you don't want the yolk to break. So what you do is you crack it, put the egg white in here, put the yolk in here, then you put it in here. Don't try to crack all three together and put it all in one thing, because one little bit of egg yolk gets into the egg whites, it will not whip up. Also, you'll get a better whipping up if you have room temperature eggs. Okay. The last egg that I cracked, it cracked perfectly. I used a fresher egg, a refrigerated egg, and it separates better. But what was happening was when I transferred it over to put it into the yolk container, the shell actually pierced the yolk, and I had to make sure that the egg white didn't get any in it. So in reality, using the two cups is really important, because sometimes eggshells are really hard and sometimes they're really easy to crack. But they separate better if you separate them ahead of time when they're cold. They create more volume if they're left at room temperature and you mix it when it's warm. Okay? And 2 or 3 things that are really important about when you're making and dealing with eggs and egg whites. Always have your bowl clean. So wash it out, use hot water. No oils can be on it, or else it will not mix up and you will not get it, the meringue that you want, okay? And the same thing with the mixers and the beaters. And then when you separate it, you notice I separated and put the egg whites into one and the yolks into the other. If I hadn't done that, and actually I should have changed it over after the first egg was done. I was lucky. But if it doesn't, then you could get a little bit of the egg yolk in here, and then all the egg whites would be ruined. And so it's really important that you separate that, and then you could use these for some other thing, or put it in when you're doing extra scrambled eggs or whatever. So anyhow, this is the egg white in a typical meringue, and we're making a typical meringue. You're going to need 3 egg whites, a cup of sugar, and then you will need a little bit of salt, half teaspoon of salt, and some vanilla for flavoring. All right, it's also another thing that's really important. We are using cold egg whites. They will easy to separate with them, but they do not fluff up this much. Also, when you add sugar, it's very important that you pour it in very, very slowly, so that the sugar can incorporate into the egg whites and not make it granular. It mixes better and doesn't make it granular. So I'm going to turn this on. As you can see, while I was making the meringue, you beat the egg whites until they get fluffy and little foamy, and then you add in your salt, your vanilla, and then very, very slowly the sugar, so it incorporates all. And then you get it until it becomes where you get little peaks that kind of roll over, and you want it on pretty much to the stiff peak form. Okay, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our graham crackers. Now I've already crushed up some, but I want to show you the size because it says, the recipe says to break up the graham crackers into pieces. You don't want really little pieces. You want them about like this. So when you're doing it, you just go like this. And you do not want really little pieces. And you use a whole package of graham crackers. Now, the recipe calls for 12, but this recipe was developed a long time ago, and the size and the shapes of the graham crackers have changed. Kind of surprised me when I did this because I haven't had them this narrow and long. Okay, and so now we're just going to go like this. Now, this is too big, so I have to cut it up a little bit more. Okay, so I'm picking up my spatula and I'm just pouring about half of them in first and starting to mix it up. Oh, it's making a wonderful crunchy sound. Okay, put these in. It's like you're walking in snow and it's crunching underneath your feet. And then I'm going to add my nuts. I'm using walnuts in these, and it's really good. I've had it with every single kind of nut there is. And my favorite's pecans because pecans are my favorite nut. But you just need a cup of them, and you fold it in just like you did the other. And we're gonna get all of this nicely mixed so we don't have too much nuts on one side and graham crackers. We want it nicely mixed, evenly distributed. All right, now you take just a regular pie tin, Marie calendars or whatever. I always use a little one. All right, and you're gonna put the ingredients in here. Notice, no oil, no nothing, just the meringue with the graham crackers and the nuts. That's all it is. I'll spread this out. It will fit in a larger pan too, but this gives me a chance to have most of the top be whipping cream. Because you can either use whipping cream or heavy whipping cream or regular whipping cream, and then, or you could use the whipped topping such as Cool Whip. Okay, so you spread this out. Okay, that's good. And now we're gonna put it in the oven. Now notice, it's really easy steps. All right, so let's put it in the oven. 50 degrees for 30 minutes. And it will be done. And then the only thing you have left to do is put whatever whipped cream type frosting you want on it. And it is done, and it is delicious. Now we took the pie out of the oven and let it cool. And the only thing we're doing is putting, you either do a whipped topping or whipping cream. I personally like whipping cream because this is a meringue and it's sweet enough on its own. And so I just cover it with a whipping cream, and then we get to eat it. And if you want to swirl it, you can, or whatever you want to do. I'm just doing it very plain. So this is our pie. I put that the piece that I took out. I got too hungry. All right.